HD. ZNS Network presents The Bahamas Tonight. This segment of the news is brought to you by BTC, powered by Lime.
Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Charisma Robinson, and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the weekend edition. Like always, it's great to have you in our company. Topping the news this evening, a measure to clamp down on cash for gold crimes will be tabled in the House of Assembly when it resumes on October 2nd. National Security Minister Dr. Bernard Nottage did not reveal the specifics of the proposed legislation, but it comes as a result of statistics that reveal that more than half of all armed robberies involved jewelry theft. The minister raised the issue in Parliament 3 months ago, and now he says the government is moving ahead with a view to regulate cash for gold entities more strictly. The move is also in response to suggestions from the public at last month's crime forum.
We also want to consult, of course, with the businesses, the people who are in the cash for gold business, so that we can give them an idea of what we are thinking. We can consider what their response to it is. But ultimately, it is our intention to seek to prevent these cash for gold crimes from continuing.
Increased saturation patrols in hotspots said to be reaping some rewards. National security bosses say that a number of residents are pleased to have a greater police presence in their areas. As they forge a greater partnership between the community and the police, a number of initiatives will be launched as they crack down on crime. In nipping criminal activity from the root, authorities say they will target those youngsters at risk, and they are seeking help from this group.
Developing a plan to use ex-offenders who live in communities, who have influence with young people, who themselves have put away criminal activity, and who we think will be able to help us to reach some of the very young men and women in these communities who are, if you like, criminal embryos. We want to try to prevent them from developing into criminal babies and criminal adults.
Now, that was one of the 52 recommendations coming from the crime forum. The 8-page booklet was released on Thursday. A number of critics took issue with government for hosting such an event, which garnered public feedback to assist in the crime fight.
I believe that the most powerful tool that we have for fighting crime is the cooperation of the average citizen and people who live in the average community. And so we will relentlessly pursue that route. In my mind, this booklet has some things in it that confirm for me that talking to the public can be very helpful.
2 suspected robbers spending the night behind bars after they were reportedly caught in the act. Police say the 18- and 20-year-old were arrested yesterday after they received calls of a break-in at a home in Windsor Estates. Authorities say when they arrived on the scene, the suspects were found with electronics and jewelry believed to be stolen goods. Investigations continue. Now, while authorities are working around the clock to create a sense of calm and ease the fear of crime, Crisis Center Director Dr. Sandra Dean Patterson says she feels a culture of violence is being perpetrated in the country. Highlighting the recent crime spate and violence gripping communities, Patterson says it will take the will of the people to make an impact. She applauded the efforts of the government's crime forum, but said that it's just a start.
The message that's coming out loud and clear in our community is that we are developing a culture of violence, and that's why initiatives like the Crisis Center that we're doing with our peace campaign is to provide an alternative, to talk about the other messages. Because if children are exposed to it at home, if they're hearing it at home, if they're exposed to it in school, if they're exposed to it through the media, through the games they play, they are becoming immune or desensitized to the level of violence. So it's easier then to think that you hit or you stab or you get a knife.
Violence is said to be a learned behavior, and Dr. Patterson said its effect can only change if there is a message to counter what's already in the public domain.
And there has to be a sustained message that comes from the media, from civil society, from government, from churches, that this is not the way that we go, and the importance of caring, walking in somebody else's shoes, feeling and caring for somebody. Anger is in fact, is the easiest emotion to have. Instead of people crying or feeling pain, they act it out in anger. And what we have to do is to try and counter that, make people aware of it, and start to do the kind of intervention that'll make a difference.
Still to come, Resorts World Bimini keeping Biminites at the forefront as more employment opportunities are on the horizon. You're watching The Bahamas Tonight.